Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Musioma Augustine. If you are here for the first time, just remember to subscribe, hit that notification bell so that when I upload another video, you are in that position to be notified. So today I'm going to talk about one legend, that is Steve Jobs. The late Steve Jobs was a great entrepreneur who changed the world forever. So what do you know about Steve Jobs? For me, I know him as an entrepreneur, the co-founder of Apple, the company which he started with Steve Wozniak. A brief background of Steve Jobs, who he was. He was adopted at a very young age as a young child. So, and her mother gave or demanded that those individuals who were to adopt him must be university graduates, but those who were almost adopting him declined at the last minute, and he was adopted by two parents who were not university graduates, but they promised that Steve Jobs, after he reached at the age which is required to join the university, would take him. So these parents who adopted Steve Jobs kept their promise when he reached 17 years and he joined college. And after joining this college, he spent not more than 6 months and he decided to drop out of the university. And as he wandered around, he was able to find Steve Wozniak, who they co-founded Apple. So what were some of the beliefs of Steve Jobs in terms of family, work, death, wealth, all those kinds of beliefs? So what was his philosophy, or what was his approach to these various things which are common in our lives? So number one, I'm going to start with family. Steve Jobs was a great individual, and even though he was unable to get along with our first daughter, that's Eliza. But as you can see, he was not that individual who used to go into public sectors with, or his relationship was not that public. But the truth of the matter, he was a family man. He spent a lot of time with his family, and also at the same time, even during his death period, those individuals who were surrounding him were his family members. So Steve Jobs was that individual who kept his family ties so close, and he ensured that his relationship with his family was in a good position. That's why even in his at his end of life, he was so committed to ensure that he amended his relationship with her daughter, that's Risa. In terms of wealth, Steve Jobs was an individual who got to be a millionaire at the age of 25. This is after they took their company, that's Apple, public. But Steve Jobs was so aware of what was happening to his colleagues, more especially his friends. So after his friends accessed a lot of money, they turned into different individuals. Some of them went and did plastic surgery. They bought different cars, sports cars. They bought even huge houses. But Steve Jobs kept his profile low. Even though he put a good house, he also maintained his low profile. He never wasted a lot of his wealth, and he was not so surprised that if he was to forget what was the main agenda of Apple as a company. So that ensures us that, or through this experience, we are in that position to be aware that money should not be something which should change our lives, but should ensure us we have lived in that life which is more humble, and also use that way to assist other individuals or move the earth forward. At the same time, Steve Jobs had his thoughts on death. Steve Jobs was diagnosed with cancer in the year 2003, and he was aware of his death. So Steve Jobs, through his speech which he gave at Stanford University in the year 2005, he was very clear. Death should not scare us, but should act as an agent which should ensure us we are in that position to do some actions which we are afraid to do. He said that death should act like something which is a life change agent. Life, once you die, there are some things which you are scared of, things which you are afraid to act. Those things actually disappear, and the most important thing which remains are those things which you did, and if you may regret, it should not be those things which you did, but the most things which you regret more about are those things which you never did. Also, Steve Jobs had an idea or had a different perspective on how you should do business. Steve Jobs was the CEO of Apple, even though he was fired at some stage, but Steve Jobs was the CEO. During his time as a CEO, he was asked, why should you not maybe produce huge products or a lot of products which you can even export to other countries, because there were some of the competitors of Apple were shipping even poor quality products to different countries. But Steve Jobs' main answer was, he as an individual and Apple as a team, they would not be proud to produce junky products and ship them. So Steve Jobs was saying that him and other individuals, Apple as a team, they were proud to ship those products which they could also even recommend to their friends, family members, and other individuals who are interested to buy those products. So they were not chasing the quantity of products which they were producing, but their main aim or their own agenda was to produce quality products which should ensure that the world moves forward. At the same time, they are proud to share those products with their family members, colleagues, and friends. Steve Jobs also had an idea on work. Steve Jobs as a person says that individuals should ensure that they do that work which they are passionate about. The reason being is, once you as an individual, you are in that position of pure stress. If you don't love that work, then you are likely going to give up so easily. So that's why Steve Jobs encourages individuals to do any work which they are so passionate about, and so long as they produce them a living, then they are in a good position to pursue those dreams, even though they come face to face with a lot of challenges. That's why even during when the time he was giving his speech, he was so crazy that your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way which you can do great work is by loving what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking, don't settle. So I need to conclude, and if you are here for the first time, I'll request you to subscribe. Also comment below, what have you learned from Steve Jobs, or have you ever heard of this individual who was known as Steve Jobs, and what was your experience? What do you understand about him, and which entrepreneur inspires you the most? Thanks for watching. My name has been Musioma Augustine. See you in my next video.